What's up, data people? My name is Matthew Heffron, and welcome to Lesson 18, Tooltips and Viz Tooltips. If you want to follow along, I put a link to the data source in the description below, but with that said, let's open up the Tableau Public app. We'll go to Microsoft Excel, we'll click Sample Superstore, and open. Next, we'll grab Orders, drop that in the data pane. Once that loads, let's go to Sheet 1. So what we'll do today is we'll build a simple viz and we'll discuss tooltips, and then we'll look at an example with viz and tooltips. I think tooltips are an overlooked feature, and I think it makes your dashboard go from an 8 to 10 when you really put the effort in and clean up your tooltips and make them useful for your users. So without further ado, let's start building. We'll grab category, let's drop that on rows. Let's grab cells, we'll drop that on columns. We'll go ahead and sort this. If you hold your command key, we can grab some of cells and we can drop that on label. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. And you can see here, we have technology, we have our cells and our cells values here at the end. And when you hover over a bar, you can see that you get a tooltip. So we have a category and cells tooltip, right? You can see that it switches. It helps inform the user what they're hovering, what they're looking at. So if you come over to tooltip, you have full control. You can edit this. You can change the font size, make it bold. You have these, let me show you this. This include command buttons. So if I click the bar, you can see there's this command across the top. So if you come in here in tooltips, if you didn't want the user to have that, you could uncheck that, hit OK. Now when you click, you don't get that across the top. We can come into tooltip. There's some cool things. Say we wanted some of cells to be lined up under category. There's this little marker you can drag out. Line those up so you can get them looking good. You have options to add additional. You can drag these dimensions or measures, drop them on tooltips. You can add them here. Let's go ahead and look at another thing. We have this insert, so you can insert different values. So we can insert the data source name. So let's do that and we'll hit OK. Now when we hover, you can see we have the orders from Sample Superstore. Perfect. Let's go in the tooltip. Do a little dash. What else can we add in here? Insert. We can do the data update time. So let's also put that in there. Hit OK. So there's a lot of additional information that you could add for the user, and it, just helps them understand things better. And I always like to look at tooltips and make sure, because a lot of times as you're dragging things, as you're building, Tableau will add tooltips for you, and I hate when people don't clean those up. So it's like a little pet peeve. I always look, make sure, did you clean up your tooltips? Are they informative? Do they help the user? I think it's something that's really important. But a cool feature is also the viz in tooltips. So let's go ahead and show you that. So let's go ahead and rename this sheet to tooltip. Then what we'll do is we'll just duplicate and we'll rename and we'll say viz in tooltip. Perfect. And what we'll do here is let's put category. Let's go ahead and put that on detail. We'll put sum of cells on rows. Let's grab order date, drop that on columns, and we'll right click it and then look at year continuous. Okay, perfect. So now we have our data, and it's a little bit different. Now we're looking at it over time. So if we go back to our tooltip, we can come in here, click our tooltip underneath here, and we can go insert, and now we can insert a sheet. So you can see we can insert sheet viz and tooltip. So what we just built, we can go ahead, we can insert that. You can change the values here. So like the max width is 300 right now. Maybe I say, I want that 600, and we'll hit OK. Now when you hover, you can see And we have a visual inside the tooltip. So if we go for technology, you can see, oh, now we're looking at technology over time. So there's different things that you can do with these Viz and tooltips that also help inform the user of data without having to even build a separate chart. So this is really cool. Make sure you use tooltips. Make sure they're clean. Make sure they're helping tell the story with your data. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on tooltips and Viz and tooltips. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to connect with me, join our Slack community, and I'll see you in the next lesson.